Assalamu alaikum. So this is the first lecture of Intro to IT Lab. We are going to take a quick summary about the first lecture and what we have covered uh, in this lecture. So this is lab one, introduction to Excel. Access your university. Okay. So you have here the first sheet, which is we call it demo. So you have part A, which is here, which is demo. Here he wants from us to, he said, Sheet1 demo underscore A. When Excel is spreadsheet program where we will create workbox with sheets. Check cell location name. So we have to know uh, some some something for yeah. So for example, first of all we have something we call it cell location. Cell location is when we have, for example, when I have this cell location, and this cell location is what? C2. So we start from the row, or I mean the table and row. So we have C2. For example, here, so this is D what? B7. Here what? B7. Here E5. So they want from us to check the cell location name, edit cell E7 and write your own name. So E7 where? So this is E7, which is here. He said what? C or E7 is B7, B7, which is here. And he wants from us to write our name. I'm going to write my name, which is Ahmed. Second thing he wants from us to rename the sheet as script. Sheet is the name of the sheet is demo. So how we can change the name? We have to uh, double click it and we can write. So we have to write create as I mentioned. So we have this create. Third thing, okay. So just we finished the first first steps. Second step is computing the average using formulas. So the average, which is if you know the average. So the average is the sum over the number of elements. I will give you this example here. So yeah, so this is the formula. So average formula is the sum of the count, or we can say the sum over the number of elements. So for example, if you have 5, 6, 7, and you want the average of them, so you have to say that 5 plus 6 plus 7 over the number of elements, which is 3. Just to make you in okay, just to make you understand it. So average formula. So this is the first formula that you have to know since you are working in on Excel. So here he said computing the average using formula, and here he gave us the steps. Type formula in cell F4. F4, which is here, F4, and he wants from us to type the formula. So you have to write the formula, and yeah. After that, calculate row-wise average for the student Ahmed using the following formula and cell this. So this is our formula, which is the first number, second number, and B5, the third number, and we have to write them on which we call it parentheses uh, to to find all of them. Yeah, because if you didn't write the if you didn't put three numbers in a parentheses, that means he will count that e5 over 3 only, and after that he will count the sum of c5 d5 plus e5 over 3. That's why we have to write, we have to put the c5 d5 e5 on on or inside parentheses. So let's write here. So here we have to write equal, and you have the average, and you will notice that here right it is already written average fx. So we click on it. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so average. You can write here because you have c5 and d5 and e5. You can write them all. I mean c5 plus, but there is a trick that you can click on c5 and drag it with d5 and e5, and you will find that c5 e5, which is c5 plus e5 plus e5, and after that uh, um, you have to close the parentheses and then divide by 3. After that, click enter. You will find the, the final answer here. Okay. After that, you can write the same formula here and here, but imagine that uh, we have here like multiple numbers. Here we have like 40 tables with all, and we have all these are numbers, so we don't have to write for each of them the formulas because it will take a long time. So the best thing is to do is to click on the first result. After that, go to this little mini box and click on it twice. After that, you can find this, or you can write, or you can find it as you can click on the little box and drag it like that, drag it down, so you will have this the three result of each of them. Okay, so we have drag the result to the cell below. So now we finish. We have now the third step, which is computing the average using average. So this is so now we compute the average using formulas. Now you have to compute the average using the average function. So first of all, you have to write on G for average. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the average. After that, uh, where is it? Yeah, here. So compute the average using the following formula in cell. We write this. Oh, I'm sorry. So I skipped this one. So I have to write. Forgive me now. I'm sorry, but in this formula I have to write equal because now we are using computing the average using average function. So you have or computing the average using formulas. So you have to write what? So you have to write here write parentheses or put parentheses. After that you can click here and drag it right like this, or even you can write c5 plus b5 plus and click on this string a5, close the parentheses. After that divide by 3, click enter. Uh, you will find that the result will be 80. After that you can click on this little mini box and drag it down. You'll find this. Okay, for the average here, using the average functions, you write equal and you write average, and you already find that the computer give you that if x is average, so you click on average. After that, it will open to you already the parentheses. You just click here, test, and drag it right like this. You find C5, E5 means C5 plus D5 plus E5. Close the parentheses, and after that, uh, we don't have to divide by 3 actually. So just click enter, and you'll find the same result here. Same thing, drag it here and we will find this one. So what we learned that we can find the average by using formula or by using a function. And I recommended to you to use the average or to compute the average by using the functions because this is more better, and you will not facing any problem even if you, I mean, sometimes when you're using formula, in some cases you may face some problems, but using the but computing the average using the functions, the following functions, you will not face any problem in at at all. So here, yeah, should plug the result to the cells below, compare values with the previous steps. You, we will find that it is all it's all the same. The result here, the same result here, and we move to the fourth one. Inserting and deleting columns. It is just easy. Here he are. Okay, so he now is explaining how to delete the column 6 of the test one. Notice what happens to the manual average result under formula. So we just go to, he said for the test one, so to delete the column, you have to go to this one, uh, which is C, the column C, and um, click the right click, and you will find um, here you have to find something. It is like delete, or yeah, I think this delete. Yep. So we now delete what we, yeah, so we delete the column C, and after we delete the column C, the this two, it was, let me check, this two, it was on D, on the column D, right? So when we delete the column C, the result or any details on column D will move to the column C. So this 2 will be in column C, and this 3 in column D, and formula will be in column E, and average will be in column F, I'm sorry. So that's what will happen. So now we will notice something, which is this. We will, as I said, if using the if you compute the average using the formula, you will face the problem, and this is one of these. So here he said reference, and here why it happened, because when the test or when the numbers of detail of test one delete, so we end up with that the, the average using formula will be 0 plus 80 plus 90, or even it will not count 0, it will count like nothing, or what he wrote here. If you yeah, if you notice here, he write what reference, because we don't have the the number of this one because we already deleted, and this is why he kept right reference, and there is like some error. But if you focus on average here, what we have we have done it here, that we compute the average using the function, you'll find this. So even if we have Even we have deleted the column C of the test one. So after we delete it, the system automatically transfer test one with C5 and test three with D5, and he just write the average will be C5 D5. And in this case, we will find that that, that um, this this method is more better than this one. So always, if you want to compute the average, just write what I will write again, equal average, and you will see the computer automatically uh, wrote it here. Fx average, double click, he will open parentheses and just drag the result here, 80, 80, 90, and it will give you C5, D5. After that, you wouldn't have to divide it because it just functions. Here I'm dealing with functions. Just click enter and you find the same thing. And as I told you, drag it down, you'll find this formula. So this is the basic thing. This is so easy if you just memorize it, if you just trying to solve more or just write by yourself, it will be much easier than you think. So here we done it here, insert and done using functions here. So in cell 9, calculate the maximum mark for this 2 using the max function. Yeah, so the C9, which is here, you want from us to find the max. Uh, Here you have just write equal max, and the system also automatically brought it here maximum. Double click here, just drag it down, so you find C5, C7, which means C5, C6, C7. Close the parentheses, click enter. You will find that the maximum value is 99. For this one, equal min, and the system here give it min. Uh, okay, already here. Uh, okay, okay, okay. So you drag the value here down, C5, C7, close the parentheses, click enter. You will find that the minimum value is 77. You can do the same thing here, but you don't have to because you have this beautiful method, which is to drag to click this little uh, mini box and drag it like this. I'm sorry. Yeah, drag it like this. What's happening? Um, yeah, and after that you can. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's something wrong here. Yep. Yeah. So this. Uh, I mean, there's something wrong here. It has to be worked. Maybe I have to. Yeah. So it will be like this. I think in this case it will not work, so we will write it here. So max, this is and it will be negative. Drag them, right click, and also here min, and this one, double click, drag them all, and yeah, so this is the minimum and this is the maximum. For the fifth one, or no, yeah, so we finish this. Absolute reference, cheat, demo. So in demo A2, so we have to, uh, yeah, so we have to, so we change the sheet for For this one, which is demo underscore A2, enter your name and third one, which is here. I have to write my name, and after that, he said calculate the total point on column G by adding all marks using the sum function. You want the total point. The total point is the sum, and the sum is the total point for first exam, second exam, final exam, and yeah, so you can find it like equal sum, which is here. Double click and make this one. He said what here? He said by adding all marks using the sum function, or marks for the first exam, for the first, I'm sorry, no, yeah, here is sum, double click here, drag first, second exam, final exam, term paper and homework, and will be B4 from B4 to homework, which is F4. Close the parentheses, click enter, you will find this one. And again, drag and play this, you'll find this one. For the semester average, here you have two options, but this is what here. Calculate the semester average on column H by dividing the total point by maximum total point. Total point over maximum total point. So total point, which is what here. So here we have this. So you find equal this divided by what? By this, right? Yeah, can be this. But here there's a hint. Underline means absolute reference for the value of maximum total point. Add dollar sign symbol before the column letter and before the row number. Should look like this. And why? Because when you drag it here to find the semester average for Smith and Jones and I'm sorry, for Jones and Ahmed, it will be divided by 0. That means there is something wrong, and you will find that the semester average for Smith, it is G4 over B8, and B8, which is the maximum total point. For Jones, we want the same thing, so we want the total point, which is G4 over B8, but the thing is, he said what here? Right, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, I mean, here it will be what? Yeah, so this one B8, but this one, you will notice that you write B9. So to fix this thing, and here also, it is B10. That means he will, for this one, it will be total point over B11, B12, B13. To to solve this problem, you have to write the dollar sign before, as written here, and before what? Yeah. So the column letter. Yeah. So before the column letter and before the row number, which is it will be here. Write dollar before the column number and after the row number. And click enter. Okay, so there's something wrong here. Here B9, right? No, here B8, I'm sorry. Here you have to write before B dollar and after, which is before the row number, dollar. And click enter, it will be like this. And then drag it there, and it will be like this. So what we will learn now, that if we have, for example, a constant value, which is the maximum total point, and B8, that means if we want to find the semester average, which is total point, for example, here D4, over the maximum total point, which is B8. B8, we have to write the dollar sign before the column number and before the row number to be sure that the second, the result for Jones will be the total point or the same maximum total point. And we just finished now. Yeah, here we have for Jack. So for Jack here, he want from us to find he calculate total using sum function and average using average function. Here he said function, which is what? Equal average and open parentheses, drag the value and close the parentheses and enter, just like that. And second thing, in cell H4 compute increase and decrease using the following: total minus first quarter over the first quarter. You find here. So here for Jack B, total, right? So total, we know that he said total, which is the sum, using the sum. That means equal sum. This is sum. Drag it all and close the parentheses, click enter, and then drag this value so you have the total point for this. Average, he wants from us to find the average by using the function, which is equal average. Click this one, drag them all, just for April, May, June, and then drag it for the total. Be sure for that. Close the parentheses, enter, drag them all, and you find this one. For increase and decrease, he said what? He said I want total minus first quarter over first quarter. So total, which is here, equal, and of course open parentheses, total minus first quarter, close the parentheses, over first quarter. Enter and drag them here. Down, drag them, drag it down so you will have the increase and decrease for all of these. And of course I have so this is the result and you will compare it at the end. Sheet solar B, which is here, so fourth, so you have to find, so this is the fourth sheet, your name goes here, so you have to find to write my name. After that, okay, done. Compute the diameter in cell 4 D4. In cell D4, diameter is 2 times radius. So here is 2 multiplied by the radius, and you don't have to write the radius. Just click the radius D4 and click enter. Drag it here. You will find this. Uh, uh, mm, it is better to write 2 multiplied by the radius here. I think it's right here. It is right before, and after that enter, drag them on. Let me check. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so okay, now we are done with the diameter. Compute the circumference in cell E4. Circumference equal diameter times pi given in C. Use absolute. Okay. So diameter here. So for the circumference equal diameter, which is this, right? D4. After that, what? Times pi, which is multiply by pi. Pi here, it is a constant. As we said, we add dollar sign before the column number and before the row number. After that, what? Given in C, use absolute, and just like that. Click enter and then drag it down like this. For area, he said what here? Area, it will be 4 multiplied by pi multiplied by radius times radius, because it is 4 pi radius square. So here equal 4 times by, again, this is, you have to add before the column number and before the row number. And then what? Multiply by the radius, multiply by the radius again. Click enter, drag it down for all the value. Finally, the weight, he said gravity times weight on Earth, which is given in C40, and of course we have to use absolute reference. Again, I forgot. So, gravity times weight. Gravity, which is equal, the gravity, which is this, C4, times what? Weight on Earth. And weight on Earth, it is a constant value, so we have to write a dollar sign before and after, uh, before the column number and before the row number. Enter, yeah, and drag them here like this. And we just finish. Yeah, here copy and drag formula for all plant. Compare your value with the figure here. Okay, see my result here. So this is the result. Here 1516, right? 0.378, right? 3032, right? 95, same. 28, same. 56.7, same thing. So we are finishing now. And so this is the end of this lecture. To take a summary, we just find, so we learn how to find, how to rename the cell location. We know the cell location and how to know the cell location. We compute the average using the formula, and we compute the average using the function average. And we find that it is better to find to compute. I'm sorry, to compute the average using the average function. It is better, and you will not face any problem in any case. And we know how to insert and delete and deleting columns, and how to find max and min. Absolute reference, which is the important point in this lecture. Uh, so it is like add the sign, the dollar sign before the before the common letter and before the row number. I'm sorry, I always said before the column number. It's wrong. I have to say add the dollar sign before the column letter and before the row number. After that, we take this part B, which is the sheet, some questions for sheet, and we find the sum, increase, decrease, average by using the average function, of course, because it is better than the average formula. And we find the diameter, circumference, area, weight, and yeah, and we know how to drag and copy the formula for all the plants. And this is the end of let us say the lecture one, the first lecture for Intro to IT Lab. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will post. I'll make a video for the first lecture for Intro to IT theory.